With the 54th International Film Festival of India now past the halfway mark, one can hear delegates happily chatting about their experiences in and out of theatres. Yes, films can tell you stories that create memories for a lifetime. Runa Agarwal reports about the Mid-Fest film at IFFI 2023 that has already featured at the Busan, the Toronto, Sao Paulo and the Cannes film festivals.
You know that the high point of the festival has arrived with the screening of the Mid-Fest film. It's the one everyone scrambles to get tickets for, and over the years, this slot has given us some of the finer moments of silver screen magic at IFFI. This year's selection is Turkish film about dry grasses from acclaimed director Nuri Bilge Ceylan. 6 of his films have been Turkey's submission for the Academy Award for Best International Film, including About Dry Grasses that we just watched. Mr. Ceylan, congratulations, thank you. You're one of the most acclaimed filmmakers around, not just in Turkey, but success seems to ride quite lightly on your shoulders. How has the IFFI experience been?
This is the first time that I come here. Actually, I came India many times, but not in this area. I like India very much, and I like to shoot portraits here also. There's an incredible richness of the human faces here, I think, and the people are very generous.
Wonderful. I hope you have a good time. Could you tell us about the inspiration behind About Dry Grasses?
I always wonder about the unexpected side of the human nature. So I wanted to, through this story, I thought I can investigate it with these 3 characters. Actually, it all started with a diary of a teacher. In this diary, I thought that he told a very interesting thing about the human nature. He was very honest, I think, when he writes.
What do you like about the medium of cinema? Why is this your life's passion?
You know, it's I think most the only thing I can do in life. Actually, I'm an engineer, but I'm a neurotic person. So with cinema, you can make something which is good for you. You know, it's like therapy for me. I investigate my own problems, maybe, but it's also good for others, maybe.
Well, it's certainly been good for all those of us that were fortunate enough to watch that film yesterday. And I think for many students of film who are here and familiar with your body of work. So I wish you and the film all the very best. And I hope we get to see more from you again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Meeting up with people who create cinema is a different experience altogether, and Elroy Fernandez will testify to that.
Your film talks about a fisherman and his estranged trans daughter. It's a topic which is very unique. So, what was the inspiration for making this movie?
Well, the inspiration comes from a lot of parts. You know, the first is that in Santa Marta, my city is in the coast of the Caribbean Sea, but the fishermen in Santa Marta they don't live anymore close to the ocean, close to the sea, because they were replaced. Because tourism, because of port. I don't know if in Goa happened, but in Santa Marta, the fishermen had to take a bus to go to fish in order to fish because they were replaced from their ancestral beaches. One of my grandfather, he used to be a fisherman. He used to live close to the ocean. And when I was young, he's always telling the story about when he used to be close to the ocean. You know, it's like a big nostalgia about that. There is one fisherman that he never left the island. He stayed there. It was like a legend. So one of my characters is based in that fisherman that he stayed, and he stayed till he's dead in the island, in the fish. And for the other side, when I was at the university, made a documentary about the trans community in Santa Marta. They were replaced from the city too, because they don't fit with the tourism landscape, you know. So we have the fishermen and the trans community, they are both places they don't fit in our city, you know. So my idea was to join these two communities that in a first look they look that are very opposite, but in the deep there are something in common. They were pariahs from their own city, and I use the grouper. It's a big fish, you know, and the character, the father, she's a grouper fisher. Yeah, he dived without tank, without anything, and he fished a big fish. But the grouper is one of the few fish animals that had a particularity that can change their sex. Yes. You know, because they are so lonely animals. When they find each other in the ocean, if the two are male, one has to change the sex to be a female in order to be reproduced. Yeah. So something similar happened with the daughter. It's a son, but she changed to be a daughter, to be a woman.
Turkey has a great film culture, and there are many fabulous productions that come from this country that sits between Europe and Asia. Charlene Estibero watched and reviewed Mommy's Lambi.
Day 5 into IFFI and the Cinema of the World segment continues to captivate its audience. Mommy's Lambi, a Turkish film directed by Umut Evirgan, tells the story of a 30-year-old man named Murat who is in prison and isn't able to shake off the bad memories of his past.
Sanık Murat Akça'da.
At a young age, his parents separated from each other and tried to do everything within their power to turn their child against the other parent. His mom expected him to heal her past traumas, while his father, married to another woman, wanted to make a man out of him at age 7 with a circumcision festivity, a night supposedly organized for his joy, which became his hell. Not knowing the reason for his trial, Murat goes back and forth in a bittersweet limbo of different narratives from both his parents in the courtroom. He is to be punished for crimes he didn't commit and can't seem to ease the pains which he has no cure for. The courtroom transforms into a battlefield where all sides clash with one another. Murat dives into this battlefield head first. He grabs a pistol from a police officer and finally kills the person who ruined his life. This film leaves you with a difficult question. Was Murat the victim of an elaborate setup again? Or will he be able to rid himself from this burden handed down for generations?
We recently celebrated World Television Day, and the fact that DD Goa is now on the Tata Play platform is breaking news. Sunil Bhatia, Deputy Director General, spoke to Shubhi Varadkar.
सर पहले तो हम आपको बधाई देना चाहते हैं, आपको और आपके पूरे टीम को, क्योंकि अब जुड़ चुका है डीडी गोवा टाटा स्काई के साथ. तो इसके बारे में आप क्या कहना चाहते हो? कैसा था, कैसा रहा इसका जर्नी? हाउ डिफिकल्ट वाज इट और हाउ इजी वाज इट फॉर एवरीवन टू लिसन इन टू?
थैंक यू वेरी मच. टाटा स्काई से जुड़ने पर जो है हमें बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है, क्योंकि इससे हमारा जो डीडी गोवा है उसकी रीच जो है बढ़ जाएगी. क्योंकि गोवा में हम लोगों ने देखा कि जो मैक्सिमम सब्सक्रिप्शन है वो टाटा स्काई के पास है. तो और हमारे पास रेगुलर ये डिमांड आ रही थी कि वी आर नॉट एबल टू वॉच योर प्रोग्राम्स बिकॉज वी डोंट हैव एनी अदर डीटीएच चैनल. सो जब हम लोगों ने ऐसा महसूस किया कि हमें टाटा स्काई पे होना चाहिए, तो वी अप्रोच देम थ्रू वेरियस सोर्सेज, डायरेक्टली, इनडायरेक्टली. एंड इन मार्च 2023 व्हेन ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर केम एंड ही सेड कि जो है यू इंक्रीज योर कंटेंट, इंक्रीज योर रीच. तो हम लोगों ने मार्च में ही जो है अपना कंटेंट, जो ओरिजिनल कंटेंट है यहाँ पे गोवा का, वो हमने 33% करीब बढ़ाया. और उसके बाद हमने फिर से अप्रोच किया टाटा स्काई को कि नाउ वी आर अवेलेबल फॉर मोर आवर्स एंड वी हैव मोर कंटेंट. तो उन्होंने बोला ठीक है, वी विल ट्राई टू रोप डीडी गोवा ऑन आवर प्लेटफॉर्म. और उसके बाद फॉर द लास्ट 1.5 year वी हैव बीन डूइंग वेरियस interesting content, especially we are covering more sports and entertainment. So that also facilitated our entry into DD Go, Tata Sky. So अभी जो है recently we got करीब 15-20 दिन पहले we got some news कि Tata Sky is ready to rope DD Goa on their platform. So then we were happy, and now it's a responsibility. We will try to make our content more rich so that it can entertain the people of Goa and other living in the other part of the country.
कुछ दिनों पहले हम वी सेलिब्रेटेड वर्ल्ड टेलीविजन डे. सो हमारे सारे दर्शकों को आप क्या मैसेज देना चाहते हो?
आई वांट टू से देम कि चाहे जितने मीडियम आ जाएं, बिकॉज नाउ वी हैव सोशल मीडिया जिस पे हमारा जो है सब कुछ अवेलेबल है, बट स्टिल watching television in sitting in your drawing room or listening radio in your car, that gives you different pleasure. So you please continue watching television. Thank you very much.
जी बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपका और ऑल द बेस्ट फॉर इफी. थैंक यू.
So many countries around the world gained independence post World War II. Lushan Sequeira Fernandez brings you a story from Morocco set in the middle of the 20th century.
Directed by Abdel Hai Laraki, who belongs to a new wave of Moroccan filmmakers. This story also brings to light the terrible times families had to endure during the last days of French colonization. The best parts in the movie is this 11-year-old boy, Kamal, who is infatuated with Aicha, a girl who is much older to him. Both of them experience the reality of war together. It was finally in the summer of 55 in North Africa that the citizens of Morocco finally saw the light of freedom. I was happy to meet the director and producer of the film that was well received by the audience. You've done a lot of movies with social causes, but this movie is a struggle of freedom that you have experienced as a young boy. Surely it has had a great impact on your life?
Yes, yes. There is one part in the movie when I was young. I was 5 years old, and the king of Morocco was taken out by French colonialism to Madagascar, and all the people, Moroccan people, have seen him in the moon. And I was young, 5 years old, and everybody say, "Look, he's in the moon, he's in the moon." And I take my mother like this, Mama, I don't see him. Where is he? My mother say, "If he is in your heart, you'll see it." And I do this scene in the movie. I do it exactly the same. So there is some part of that boy I have the same in my life. And it was very, very emotional for me.
Very well shown. And I would like to ask you, in all this unrest in the movie, there's this platonic love between a young boy and a little older girl. Can you share your thoughts on that?
Yeah, actually, there is no preconception of violence. This boy is innocent. Actually, he's innocent like each of us. We are innocent in this world. We hear about conflict. We hear about the darkest time right now in Gaza, but we are basically from the beginning innocent, and then people try to get you in one side or the other. But the basic thing, as a child, you feel what is lawful, what is good, and what is beautiful. This is the true value, and that's what I think was very important for the director. It's to show that the importance of love, not just as something seductive, but as a vector of evolution.
With 20 years of IFFI in India's sunny state, Goa's young filmmakers are absolutely on a roll. Priti Soiru met one of them.
कॉंग्रेच्युलेशन तुझे फिल्म सदाबहार सिलेक्ट जाला इफी खातीर. म्हाका सांग, रेड कार्पेटाचेर आयज तुमकां येवपाचो हो योग आसा, आनी तुमकां ह्या सदाबहार फिल्माचे थोडे कितें अशें आमकां सांगूं शकता?
हय, सो ही फिल्म आमी फाटल्या वर्सा शूट केल्ली, आनी एक ग्रांट आशिल्लो नॅटफ्लिक्साचो. सो तांणी तो ग्रांटाचो मेन थीम आशिल्ली की होम ह्या टॉपिकाचेर एक फिल्म करपाक जाय. सो हांव जेन्ना होम हो टॉपीक म्हाका कसो आवडटा ऑर हाव डू आय इंटरप्रेट इट, तेन्ना म्हाका अशें लक्षांत आयलें की ज्या लोकांक होम ही कॉन्सेप्टूच ती सुविधा ना तांच्या खातीर कितें आसतलें. आनी मागीर म्हाका अशें दिसलें की आमच्या गोंयांत जे खुबशे लोक भायले येवन हांगा काम करता, ते स्वता हांगा एक आपलें घर करतात, जरी तांची घरां एक्चुअली आनी खंय आसली, तांच्या खातीर घराची आयडिया कितें. सो हो थॉट घेवन हांवें फुडें मागीर म्हणलें की म्हाका बँड मेंबराची आयडिया आयली. सो मागीर म्हणलें वाय डोंट वी एक्सप्लोर दीस एज अ टॉपीक, म्हणून हांवें तें मागीर एक्सप्लोर करपाक घेतलें आनी ती फिल्म तशी जाली. आनी इफ रेड कार्पेट मिन्स एवरीथींग फॉर अस गोवन फिल्म, बिकॉज आमी सगळे हांगा वाडले, आमी पळयलां, हांव पणजेचोच, हांवें पळयलां इफी कशें आसता तें. आनी हळू करून म्हजी पयली एक शॉर्ट फिल्म गोवन सेक्शनान आशिल्ली, आनी आतां टू कम इन इंडियन पॅनोरामा दीस इज द हायेस्ट यू कॅन गेट. सो ताच्या खातीर खूब बरें दिसता. आनी इट विल बी इवन बेटर बिकॉज आमची गोंयची फिल्म आसा आनी आमच्या गोंयच्या लोकांक एक रेड कार्पेट चलोवन भितर वचपाचो एक जो आमकां एक ऑपॉर्च्युनिटी मेळटा तें बरें दिसता.
सो ह्या फिल्मान तुजो एक्सपिरियन्स कसो आशिल्लो?
फिल्माचो एक्सपिरियन्स म्हजो खुबूच इंट्रस्टींग हाज्या खातीर आशिल्लो की आमचो मेजॉरिटी क्रू म्हणजे वॉज फ्रॉम गोवा. सो ताज्या खातीर कितें जाता की आमच्या लोकांक एक ऑपॉर्च्युनिटी मेळटा कितें तरी येवन बरोबर करपाक, बिकॉज टॅलंट खूब आसा. पूण ते टॅलंट एक्सप्लोर करून तांकां चान्स दिवपाक जी ऑपॉर्च्युनिटी मेळ्ळी म्हाका, आनी म्हाका लागलें की गोंयांत कितले लोक आसा तांचे बरोबर आमी काम करून कितें करूंक शकता. सो दॅट वॉज माय बिगेस्ट लर्निंग. आनी तो एक कॉन्फिडन्स मेळटा की हाज्या फुडें जर म्हाका आतां गोंयांत फिल्म करपाक जाय जाल्यार आय नो की म्हजे कडेन एक रिसोर्स आसा, म्हजे कडेन एक फ्रेटर्निटी आसा जांच्यान हांव डिपेंड रावंक शकता म्हजी फिल्म करपाक. सो दॅट वॉज माय बिगेस्ट लर्निंग.
ह्या फिल्मांतल्यान, सदाबहार फिल्मांतल्यान तुमी गोंयकारांक किंवा जे प्रेक्षक आसा म्हणजे तांकां कितें संदेश दिवंक सोदता?
म्हाका फक्त एक फिलींग आनी एक एक्सपिरियन्सा बद्दल उलोवपाचें आशिल्लें की जे आमी म्हणटात की तो भायले आनी आमी भितरले, आनी किंवा हे जे आमी लायन्स ड्रॉ करता, इनविजिबल लायन्स ड्रॉ करता आमी, ते इट्स नॉट नेसेसरी. अँड बँड मेंबर करपाचो मेन हेतू म्हणल्यार इट इज थ्रू द लँग्वेज ऑफ म्युजीक दॅट दे कॅन कम्युनिकेट वीथ इच अदर. म्हणजे म्युजीक इज युनिवर्सल. ताका आमी तूं गोंयचो आनी तूं भायलो अशें काय तुमी बंधन लावंक शकना. सो म्हजो संदेश न्ही, बट आय वूड लायक इन अ वर्ल्ड वेर देर आर नो बाउंड्रीज अशें, आनी आमी सगळे जाण एकमेकांक वी कॅन सी इच अदर एज द ह्युमन्स दॅट वी आर.
खूब बरें सांगलें. आनी हो आशिल्लो आमचे बरोबर सुयश कामत, डायरेक्टर ऑफ फिल्म सदाबहार. ऑल द बेस्ट. हय, आनी देव बरें करूं. थँक्यू.
Shubhi Varadkar is one of our correspondents who has made the red carpet her very own. Here she is with one more of our amazing film personalities.
Disha Bharadwaj, who's the director of a short film called Chupi Raho. That's a very interesting film, and first and foremost, welcome to Doordarshan, Goa.
Thank you so much.
So, could you tell us a little bit about the film, whilst we understand and know what it is? There are lots of viewers who don't know broadly the storyline, so a small insight.
Okay, so it's a film set in the lower Himalayas, since I'm from Himachal. It's a Pahari film. It's about a family of 3 people, a father, mother and a son, who are each dealing with their own issues every day, and they're just, trying to get by. So it's just 24 hours in their lives. I hope people watch it and like it.
Yes, that's an interesting topic and worth the watch surely. So as a director, being a lady is always kind of challenging, and to add to it, I guess you've taken in a film that is done in the Pahad. So how challenging was it for you to roll your film and finish this filming in the mountains?
It was quite overwhelming, to be very honest. A logistical nightmare, I have been actually saying it was, since it's very difficult to shoot in the mountains. There are barely any people who deal with the equipments, or operators are there. So I did the casting locally. It was most of like one woman production running before the film went on the floor for shoot. But I had a great support system. My parents, they helped out. My friends, they helped out. It was a wonderful collaboration of people who just purely did it for the love of cinema.
The competition section at the festival will decide which film takes away the golden peacock. Orina Vaz peeped into the Bosnian pot.
Mr. Pavel, welcome to Goa.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy I'm here, and very glad for and thankful for the invitation and the chance to present my film here.
Mr. Farooq Sego in the movie, the protagonist, is somewhat all of us, with unfulfilled ambitions and dreams.
Yeah, I use usually imperfect protagonists, the guy with the failures, he's... but he has to be nice somehow. He makes mistakes, but audience has to have to like him, because he has something human which is connects to the audience. So it was always actually my ambition to have these imperfect protagonists, the man in middle ages with a lot of failures, but somehow likable.
Yes, and he touched a chord in all of us. That's why that movie was so likable. And also, this is a biographical film on self-discovery.
Yeah, it is. Actually, I was in Sarajevo when the film premiered. They told me, of course, Faruk Šego is not Pavo Marinković, but a lot of the things this character had to live through, I personally experienced. So I would say it was the most personal film I made. It was not an easy film to make. It was everything looks like easy, charming, and going, but it was a very, very tough call for the financiers. It's actually first Croatian-Austrian co-production ever. So we are neighboring countries. We don't do these things. To address also the Austrian audience, to have Bosnian protagonist as a likable guy, which is, it is not like a common. This film was not a common film, not a common way, but. Yes, I did it. It's two strong autobiographical elements. I was living as a young author in Austria, and I lost my self-confidence. That's new territory. I came as a young, promising writer, and after 3-4 years, I was a card player who lost all the talents I thought I lost. And the other thing is...
But you found it in the end.
Yeah, I tried to find it through life, but I understand what happens to this guy, because if you don't know how easily you can lose the talent you have through some, I would not say hostile environment, but entire environment which doesn't give you a chance, that treats you differently. Yes. It's so easy to lose self-confidence, and that happened to me in one part of my life, and then happened to this guy. Yes. And also these things with losing the residence permits is autobiographical, and also autobiographical is I had once a theater play which had to be premiered in Zagreb. It is some kind of co-production, and the mix pool broke.
Okay.
And something like no, they were not burning the schnapps, but brandy, but something like this. And actually, the actors wanted to play it with the natural light. And for me as a writer, it was a disaster. I never got so bad critics.
So with the sun having set in this side of the world, I'm Savio Norona signing off on day 5 of screenings at the 54th International Film Festival of India in Goa. It's goodbye and good night.